Good evening, fellow countrymen and women. My name is Dino Melai. My question this evening is to former Governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi. And the question is straightforward. With the uncoordinated security network among the security agencies today, and the lack of proper coordination between the office of the president and the vice president, do you, as presidential candidate of Labour Party, believe that the office of the president and vice president is one and same or not? Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's a town hall meeting. Mr. Peter Obi, I see that you want to take that first. Mr. Peter Obi, candidate of the Labour Party.
The office of the president and the office of the vice president is not the same. There's the commander-in-chief. The button stops at somebody's desk. He can, of course, delegate that power. That is why when the president travels, we talk about transaction. The vice president cannot is not commander-in-chief. In terms of coordination, they should work as a family. They should work together. But as president and commander-in-chief, the decision and the buck stops on my desk. I will be responsible to Nigerians. My vice president.
Quiet in the hall, please.
My vice president will be working very closely with me. That even the constitution have areas where he delegated the vice president to head. It didn't say he's commander-in-chief. So I'll be in charge. And I will not...
Please, no noise from the hall.
But that notwithstanding, everybody in government, like the Governor Kowa has said, has to work as a family. A family doesn't mean that you don't have a head. A family, the father is the head, but it's still a family. And they live together. So we will be a family, but I will be in charge.
Please respect the rules of engagement. No cheers, no clapping, no jeers, please. This is fairly straightforward to understand. Senator Dr. Kwankwanso.
Thank you very much. Now, for the purposes of what happened earlier on here, I believe that there is always supposed to be a synergy between the president, vice president, governor, deputy governor, and so on and so forth. When a gentleman came and asked me whether he should, the representative for Ziri should stay, I said he should stay. Why? Because, you see, we have very limited time now for campaigns. And we have so many invitations from so many organizations for debates, for town hall, for this and that and so on. No candidate can boast of saying, I will attend all of them. And for purposes of respect, I believe there is need for meetings like this to accept representative. And I think that is the position. That's how I see it. It's very important. Whichever group that is having this sort of thing should accept. Somebody who is abroad, I think the man sitting here is better than the person who did not come or send any representative. Thank you very much.
Please, quiet in the auditorium. Please, let's respect the rules. Let's respect the rules. Can we have some quiet? Okay, next, Mr. Kola Abiola, presidential candidate of the PRP.
Yes, thank you very much. In the same vein with His Excellency, when all that was going on, I consulted with my vice president also. And our own take on this was that, look, you know what? We're here. It's better to have representation than no representation at all. And let's get this thing going. But more importantly, I think also the organizers must respect their own rules also to avoid this kind of situation. If you put the rules there, enforce them. Many a times you make the rules, you never stick by them, and you change them to suit other parties. I think that is totally wrong. There must be a total level playing field. So let's avoid this going forward.
Let's be quiet in the hall.
Let's avoid this going forward. Thank you.
Please, let's be quiet in the hall. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of the People's Democratic Party.
Hello. There's no doubt that in the presidency is one, but there's no doubt that there is a commander-in-chief. That is not controvertible. But concerning the issue that took place tonight, I read the letter of invitation to my presidential candidate. It did not clearly state that you cannot be represented. Obviously, it was not. I read it. And we also called to confirm whether he could be represented. And we're asked to go ahead that he could be represented because he was overseas. And I think that that settles that matter. But the presidency must work as one. And I thank all the participating persons here because they understand that very clearly. And we must understand that there is a need for people to pull along together. If the president can transmit power to the vice president, it means that vice president has that power at some point in time. Thank you.
Please, 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 no clapping, no jeers. Please. Okay, at this point, I have questions from the Nigerian Guild of Editors. One, Kwankwanso, are you taking votes away from the All Progressives Congress so that we can have a political deadlock situation? Is that your plan? Two, Peter Obi, are you also trying to take votes away from the People's Democratic Party in order to create a deadlock in the 2023 presidential election? And in both cases, and this is directed to all the four persons who have been addressing us since we started this program, in both cases, what will each party do? Who would like to go first? I know there are 2 pointed questions. The third one is a general one for all the four persons on stage. You want to respond to that first, Mr. Peter Obi? Okay, Dr. Rabiu Kwankwanso.
Thank you very much. You see, there are so many Nigerians who still don't understand the way we operate. NNPP is not taking votes from either APC or PDP. NNPP is taking votes from both parties, that is one. Secondly, people who are not voting at all, or people who are just to start voting in 2023. I'm happy to say today, based on our understanding, NNPP is the only growing party. The two parties, based on our own analysis, have nothing to tell Nigerians that is new. And this, my brother, who I believe is going to speak next, please hold Southeast very well. You will do a good job for our party and for Nigerians. Thank you very much.
Please, quiet in the hall, quiet in the hall. Please, please remember you are on live television. You are on live television, and people are watching at home. They will see you that you don't respect rules. So when you are told repeatedly to please maintain dignified silence as the candidate speak, well, you are being shown on live television, and people will see you and remind you that you couldn't keep to the rules. Mr. Peter Obi, candidate of the Labour Party.
Well, we're not trying to take away votes from any party. Labour Party is in this election to win and serve Nigeria. Our voters, we're taking votes away from the traditional parties who have structures, which is structure of incompetence, structure of bad leadership, structure of criminality, looting of Nigeria, and bringing us to a level where we become a failed state. So we are saying to Nigerians, especially the younger ones, come, let's take back Nigeria and take it with people you can trust. Election, what we are selling is trust. Of all these candidates, who will you trust that can manage this country and your resources well?
Okay. Mr. Kola Abiola, presidential candidate of the PRP.
Thank you.
What will you do if these parties take votes one way or the other?
Well,
and who are you taking votes away from?
I'm a non-believer. I'm a non-believer in taking votes. I'm going to at PRP. We're going to earn our keep. And how do we do that? We're appealing to not vote for party, but vote for your future, vote for your country. That's what we're all about. Now, I believe collectively that this next election will have the highest number of voter turnout in the history of this country. And that's why we have 3 new parties basically going against the 2 established parties. And those established parties, their days are numbered for sure. We don't have to take their votes. They have lost their support base because they have failed woefully. Now, what is going to happen further is that a lot of us are this, that of those same parties. So for once, you have a fresh option to pick from. And that is what I expect the Nigerian youth and the Nigerian public to vote for. And that is PRP. Thank you.
Well, your turn, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa.
I'm aware that the PDP is strong in all the 6 geopolitical zones, very strong, and strong in all states. That is a statement of fact, and we are busy campaigning to Nigerians based on our manifesto and the credibility of the persons who are on the ticket of the party. Secondly, as of the last time I checked, in 2019, I'm sure, Peter Obi was vice presidential candidate to Atiku Abubakar. He said he paid a lot of glowing tributes to Atiku Abubakar. And as at the last time I checked, up to May 24th, 2022, he was still an aspirant under the PDP. So he cannot claim to be strange to the PDP or strange to the past. It is wrong to present that kind of situation to Nigerians. I think it's important that we begin to address issues the way they were. As for my brother, Dr. Rabiu Kwakwanso, I thank you for your comments. But as at the last time that I checked, apart from little issues that we're having in Kano, you are still in the PDP and a leader of the PDP. And you have been part of the PDP. Are you now telling Nigerians that you contributed to the destruction that you claim is happening in this nation? Too many good things came in from the PDP. 1999 to 2007. Let's take note of that. It's important that we educate Nigerians.